Aloha Nui Patriots. It's Shariraye with the verse of the day, April 18th. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chief of the fathers of the children of Israel, unto King Solomon in Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. The temple is now finished. It seems that approximately a year, or maybe even a little more time, had elapsed between its completion and its dedication. This great event occurred in the year of Jubilee, during the Feast of Tabernacles, in connection with the Great Day of Atonement. The Feast of the Dedication lasted for 7 days. Then came the Great Day of Atonement, and finally the 7 days of the Feast of Tabernacles. Thus are the circumstances of the dedication harmonized with the grace and the glory of the future kingdom, which was then foreshadowed, and we speak of the coming kingdom age. The Ark of the Covenant was brought up from Zion, the city of David, where it had been lodged in a tent, to the neighboring hill of Moriah, upon which the temple was built, and the tabernacle of Moses was brought up from Gibeon, where it had been in the days of Saul. It may be assumed that the tabernacle and its vessels were reverently laid up among the treasures of the house. The ark, having the tables of the law within it, was placed within the Holy of Holies. All was performed exactly as the Bible commanded. Consequently, the glory of Jehovah filled the house of Jehovah. By God's command, there were variations made in the vessels in the temple as contrasted with those of the tabernacle. These changes harmonize with the purpose of the temple as an exposition of the coming glory. But there was no alteration with respect to the ark, for it was God's one and only throne. Its staves, however, were withdrawn, and the golden pot of manna and Aaron's rod that budded, which were associated with the tabernacle in the wilderness, are not mentioned. All this is harmonious. The ark entered its rest. The staves with which the priests had borne it in the wilderness were withdrawn and became the memorials of that time of pilgrimage, testifying to the grace and faithfulness which had brought them into God's rest. But Aaron's rod and the pot of manna are not mentioned, for these, being types of that which would be substantial in the millennium, necessarily disappeared. They would be out of place in the glorious reign and rest of Canaan. Therefore it was that Solomon, as priest and king, in the presence of a manifested glory, displaced Aaron and his priesthood. For he, and not the high priest, dedicated the temple and blessed the people, because Solomon represented Christ, who will reign supreme in the coming kingdom age. The 10 Commandments remained in the ark, for the word of the Lord endures forever. It is mentioned with emphasis that they and nothing else were in the ark. This had to be, for the law of God was hidden in the Messiah's heart, as it was hidden in the ark. That law will be the basis and rule of the righteousness which will govern in the coming kingdom age. The law, in fact, is kept now and will be forever through Christ and what Christ has done for us at the cross.